Hi guys. We made it.
3 pages?
Is it?
Oh,
A short one?
it's a short one.
Yeah. What is today? Today's Monday.
July 8th.
Ah. Boy, we already got it started. This month is going to kick it fast, I think. Hope that everybody down in Texas are okay. That hurricane hurried in and made it. You know it's going up the same path as the eclipse went through?
No.
Yeah, I seen that a while ago. The same path. That's kind of odd. Of course, it comes in and goes up, so yeah, that's expected.
Something like that. Are you done?
Anything you want to say?
No.
Till later, maybe?
I'm quite fine.
Okay. We'll leave it with Marcia. You want to tell them about our pretty garden?
No.
Okay.
You tell them all that. You can tell them.
Later.
We do have our babies back home. Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Colton and Remington are both back here now, so.
Yep. They come back. And
Rebecca
I forgot to tell her we was going to do a video.
She's going to come back here.
She come in and out. So.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, dear brothers and sisters. Blessed, chosen, cherished, valued, and deeply loved by the happy God.
Yeah, we are loved. And
From
deep loved.
A.E. Knox commentary. Will you get your little
No, I'm
fingers
making
out of
that
there?
level in there. You're across the top. I got it. Your turn.
From A.E. Knox commentary, it is supposed that a list of church widows was kept, which probably included all widows of 60 age and over, whether self-supporting or not. Those who were entered onto this list undertook certain duties and promised to give themselves to the work. The younger widows were not put on this list lest they should tire of their promise and break faith. They might grow restive and so fall into judgment. As the whole passage refers to widows, this is supplied in verse 14 after younger. The widows seem to have been a special charge given in the Pentecostal era. Now in these days, the disciples multiplying, there came to be a murmuring of the Hellenists against the Hebrews, that their widows were overlooked in the daily dispensation. Acts 6:1. Unsearchable Riches, Volume 96, page 129, by Philip Scranton. When David came to his palace in Jerusalem, the king took the 10 women, his concubines, whom he had left to be in charge of the palace, and he put them in a house under guard. He provided for them, but he did not go into them. They remained constricted until the day of their death in their living widowhood.
That's strange. Can you imagine that?
You're alive and you're...
They pretty much lock you up, don't they?
No comfort from you? Oh, that's nice. This is...
Put them under guard. Isn't that strange?
2 Samuel 20, verse 3. This verse in the Old Testament speaks of the concubines with whom Absalom, the third son of King David, by his wife Maachah, who sought to become king in place of his father and to solidify his position. One of the things he did was to take over David's house and sleep with his concubines, which was considered an unforgivable act. Okay, I can understand that.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy.
The verse closes with a phrase that might strike us as unusual: living widowhood. That meaning is clear. These women would live out their lives without ever bearing a child to the king. Their lives would fail to bear the joyous fruit that could come from living in subjection to the king because they had surrendered to the authority of someone else. As with the 12 tribes, the issue could be reduced to the relationship sustained to the king. This phrase may also shed light on Paul's expression in 1 Timothy 5:6, through living, though living is dead. These women found themselves to be much more like prisoners, remembering the schemes of Sarah, the barter of Leah and Rachel, and the tears of Hannah, we realize that in their culture, a woman's fulfillment was largely founded in the bearing of children.
Huh.
I can understand.
Yep.
But
Yep. Yep.
that ain't gonna happen. You know, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't have cut it.
Isn't that something?
They may well have cursed the day that their beauty had brought them to the palace. If only they had been plain. They may have married that neighborhood boy and had a happy life raising a family. Or if they had resisted Absalom, even if it cost their life. It is the believer's submission to the rule of Christ and his or her faithfulness to his rule that invigorates them and prevents them from coming to the palace of a fruitless existence.
That's what they found. Judy or Alicia found for this verse. We're in 1 Timothy 5 verses
Judy
3 through 6, and that's pretty cool. That's pretty crazy article.
I think this is Judy.
Might have been.
The Debar translation for this from 1 Timothy 5 3 through 6: value the widows, those who are really widows, because they weren't widows even though they were widows.
That's
sort of. That's a hard one to wrap your head around.
Who are really widows.
But if any widow has children or descendants, let them learn beforehand to well honor their own dwelling and to give repayments to the progenitors, for this is welcome in the eye of God. But she who is really a widow and having been left alone has taken expectancy to the Lord and waits in entreaties and prayers night and day. But the squandering one has come to death while living.
Yeah. We use the Concordant Literal for these studies, and I'll leave the verses we're looking at today. There was 1 Timothy 5 7 through 16, and 1 Corinthians 7 29 to 34. Those are only two references for that, for this verse.
Remington.
What do you need?
Nothing. You don't worry about it. You keep talking to the people here.
Oh. Hey, Remington, Grandma wants you.
Bring me my juice.
Yeah. She needs her. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll work.
All right, so get this straightened out here.
Thank you.
There. All right, so 1 Timothy, what?
I was going to be nice to you. Turd, see if I try to be nice to you.
Do it again.
No.
I'll be nice. This is really a neat article. That's really a neat article. Now, I don't remember how these read out, but let's see how they do. 1 Timothy 5 3 through 6. Widows be honoring who are really widows. Now, if any widow has children or descendants, let them learn to be devoted to their own household first and recuperate by paying their progenitors, for this is welcome in God's sight. Now, one really a widow and alone, get that? Now, one really and alone, no, I'm sorry. Now, one really a widow and alone relies on God and is remaining in petitions and prayers night and day. Yet she who is a prodigal, though living, is dead. Now, that prodigal, I've seen that the Debar translation had that as squandering one, as a prodigal, one that's squandering. Frivolous, not caring, I guess.
What?
Prodigal means squandering one.
Yeah.
You squander things.
Yeah.
Squander. These things also charge that they may be irrehensible. Now, what are you looking for? A word?
Progenitor.
let's see, children, progenitors, by paying their progenitors. It's the same word in the
It means before becomer.
becoming before. Those that before you, that come before you. Have any other thing to it?
Immediate progenitors or remote ancestor, paying their.
So it would be an ancestor. Those come before you, right? Your ancestors.
That means that the sons and stuff should take care of their mothers.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, widows.
Sorry.
You'd think the families would take care of their own. You know, there's scripture that says if you don't take care of your families, you're worse than an unbeliever. That's on the right hand side somewhere. So anyway, these things also charge that they may be irrehensible. Now, if anyone is not providing for his own household, and especially his family, he has disowned the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. I can see that. That's what I just said.
Yeah.
It's on the right hand side, I'm sure. 1 Timothy 5:7-16, that's in verse 8. Oh. Let no widow be listed of less than 60 years, having been with the wife of one man, attested by ideal acts, if she nurses children, if she is hospitable, if she washes the saints' feet, if she relieves the afflicted, if she follows up with every good work. Yet the younger widows refuse, for they
know they can go out and get another husband.
Should be resistive against Christ. For whenever they should be resistive against Christ, they are wanting to marry, having judgment, seeing that they repudiate their first faith. Yet at the same time, they are learning to be idle also, wandering about the homes. Yet not only are they idle, but gossips also, and meddlers, and speaking what they must not. I am intending then that younger widows are to be marrying, bearing children, managing the household, giving an opposer nothing as an incentive, favoring reviling. For already some were turned aside after Satan. If any believing woman has widows with her, let her be relieving them, and not the ecclesia be burdened. That it should be relieving those who are really widows. That was 1 Timothy 5:7. So that was verse 8 is on the right hand side. Now this I am averring, brethren, the era is limited, that furthermore those also having wives may be as not having them.
Yeah, it's on the right hand side.
Let me read this again. Now this I am averring, brethren, the era is limited, that furthermore those also having wives may be as not having them, and those lamenting as not lamenting, and those rejoicing as not rejoicing, and those buying as not retaining, and those using this world as not using it up, for the fashion of this world is passing by. Now, if you want to be without worry, now I want you to be without worry. The unmarried one is solicitous about the things of the Lord, how he should be pleasing the Lord. Yet he who marries is solicitous about the things of the world, how he should be pleasing his wife, and is parted. The unmarried woman, as well as the virgin, the unmarried one is solicitous about the things of the Lord, that she may be holy in body, as well as in spirit. Yet she who marries is solicitous about the things of the world, and how she should be pleasing her husband. That's interesting. Yeah, because if you're married, you can have a household to take care of. If you're not married and you're diving into this, you can put more time into this and have more to it, right?
Yeah.
For the rest, brethren, whatever is true, whatever is grave, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is agreeable, whatever is renowned, if there is any virtue and any applause, be taken these into account. And what you learned also and accepted and hear and perceived in me, these be putting into practice, and the God of peace will be with you. That's Philippians 4:8-9. We love you all. Grace to you and peace from God our Father and our Lord Jesus Christ. That was a short one, but it was there's a lot in it to consider, to think on. Right? I need to use that for putting the scriptures at the bottom. What'd you find?
I'm
Anything?
just reading this, trying to get that one little thingy.
Oh, on 1 Timothy. Yeah, one on the right hand side.
Where you are back, you were back.
Yeah. You're in Timothy, so it'd be 1 Timothy. You're on the first one, probably.
I've already done that part.
Oh.
Why would they be restive against Christ if they weren't married?
What does restive mean? For whenever they should be restive against Christ, they are wanting to marry. I have no idea. That some things I don't understand. That's one of them. I haven't looked up that word and really dug down into that one. That wasn't. What verse was that? 1 Timothy 5, verse 11. 1 Timothy 5:11 says that. Yet the younger widows refuse, for whenever they should be restive, restive against Christ, they are wanting to marry. And I don't know what that word was. What does the bar say on that one?
I'm looking at it. I'm trying to find it.
I'm going to look it up in the bar here. See what that says in the bar. It's curious, the debar has a lot of the Greek elements in it.
That's all it is.
Where'd my debar go? I moved it. It's right. Which one of these symbols is it? That one right there. No. Right there. All right. Let's see what it says.
Hold on, I'll get this back out there.
That's 1 Timothy 5:11. That over there so I can see it. Where's it at? Right there. Let's see. What that says, 1 Timothy 5.
Restive.
Restive.
Okay. It means down solid. Begin to wax wanton against.
They become weary. That's the word of the Greek, the G2691. Become weary. Literally, down luxuriant.
Where?
Down luxuriant. Become weary.
Okay.
Become welcome. See, but the top first one is G2691. So that verse says, "But younger widows refuse, for when, as it were, they became weary of the Christ they want to marry, they became resistive."
Why would they become resistive if...
Become weary. Become weary.
Why would they become weary if they weren't married?
Become weary. They became weary of Christ they want to marry. I don't know. Literally down luxuriant. 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 That's what it literally means. That'd be some digging to figure that out. I'm sure we could find a commentary that would help explain that for me. But anyway, that'd be another day. We don't want to keep you all.
Colossians?
That's become worried. That's 1 Corinthians 7:9 as a reference for that one verse right there in the bar. Was that one of ours here? 1 Corinthians 7:9. No. And that verse says, "But if they have not let me click it. It ain't taking it right there, okay? "But if they have not inner hold, let them marry, for it is better to marry than to be made fiery." Isn't that interesting? So that goes with that one, that right there. If they
Corinthians what?
become weary of Christ,
7:9.
they want to marry. 1 Corinthians 7:9. And the bar says, but if they have not inner hold, let them marry, for it is better to marry than to be made fiery. The Concordant in 1 Corinthians 7, right? 6, 7, where's 7 at? Right? 9, right here. It says, if they are not controlling themselves, let them marry. For it is better to marry than to be on fire.
Oh.
So is that
Maybe
making
that's sexual.
that's they're wanting to get things to happen.
They wanted to
Okay.
have some babies.
So that's what it says. So
If
that's
anybody
why
knows any different than that,
that
tell
makes
us.
more sense, don't it? That
Yeah.
makes better sense. The younger women's refused for okay, so verse 9 or verse 10 attests about the elect. If she nurses children, if she is hospitable, if she washes the saints' feet, if she relieves the afflicted, if she follows up with every good work. Yet the younger widows refuse, for whenever they should be resistive against Christ, they are wanting to marry,
well, after a certain period of time, you don't care anymore.
having
about
judgment seeing that they repute their first faith.
that. Yeah.
So anyway, that's pretty neat. Alrighty. Well, thanks for hanging out with us.
Yep.
We love you all and appreciate you being here. Really
Yep.
do. Tomorrow's Tuesday, another
Tomorrow's
day.
Tuesday.
We're supposed to get rain tonight. I got to get out and check that garden again. I like looking at that garden. So we got tomatoes taller. They're 7 foot tall out there. All right. We'll talk to y'all tomorrow.
Bye.